Alrighty then, do we have signs of life? Alrighty then, do we have... We do indeed. Ta-da! Welcome to the void. We have officially reached the 5-minute mark, which as you all know, my internet's so crappy I wait 5 minutes before actually starting stream, just to see if it's gonna die. Oh god. I look just as awful in real life as the model. I don't know why the eyes are doing that though. It's kind of strange. It's kind of weird. Alright, let's fix this. That make it better? That made it worse. Oh dear. Oh dear. We'll see how we go. Quality Australian internet. I know, right? It's ridiculous. But as bad as it is, I've got the best that I can get in my situation. But good morning, Vane. Thank you for popping in. Ashrafel, thank you so much for the resub. I really, really appreciate that. 20 months. Damn. We're almost 2 years. Thank you for sticking around so much. I really do appreciate it. Like, you're the name that I remember most. So thank you. Super low energy. It's also nearly midnight. Man, stick around. No, it's all good. It's totally all good. Stick around as much as you like and as much as you can. If you need to grab some sleep, I totally get it. I mean, even I just went to bed early yesterday, grabbed some sleep, so yeah. Definitely wouldn't begrudge anyone from getting some sleep when they need it. I've done the full 180 of sleep is a lie. It just reduces the amount of time we can stay awake to waste time on other things. And then I've gone around to, okay, sleep is necessary for health and for gains. And then I'm coming back around to the other side, which is like, well, maybe sleep is overrated, so... Although I did get some sleep last night, so maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. In any case, welcome. Howdy. Normally I stream on Friday nights and Saturday nights and Sunday nights and whatnot. Well, not Sunday nights. I try to, but I always forget. But yesterday night I was just like, look, it's been a long week, I'm tired. I just phoned it in. But before we get started, and I don't even know if this is going to come through on the audio. First can of imitation Red Bull for the day. I try to catch you when I can, but sometimes schedules don't align. Yeah, I totally get it. It's the problem with time zones and whatnot. And it doesn't help that it just doesn't help my situation in terms of work schedules, what days I stream, etc. I am probably going to try experimenting with some slightly different times as things go ahead. But yeah, it's totally cool if you got other things you need to do, like sleep and whatnot. I totally get it. But yeah, I do appreciate you, and you're the name that I remember most, so thank you. Imitation Red Bull. Just opened a can. Ever since, I think it's been the past like 8 months or something like that, I've started shopping exclusively at Aldi. I do pop into like the other stores that we have down here. We only have like 3, technically 4. Very, very much a duopoly down here. You got to shop at Woolworths, you shop at Coles. If you're lucky to have an Aldi, you go there, and if you have an IGA, happy days. And that's pretty much it, aside from like family-owned small grocery stores and whatnot. But yeah, I started shopping in Aldi pretty much exclusively like 8 months ago, and I swear it's like half price. A week's worth of groceries at one of the other 2 stores, Aldi is half that, and the quality's usually better. Well, I mean, you guys would have Aldi. They're huge over in Europe. We only just get a few of them. And I'm quite lucky to have access to 2 of them, actually. It's great. But yeah, quality is generally better. It's half the price of the other stuff, and I mean, I can definitely taste the difference between Red Bull and imitation Red Bull, but for half the cost, it gets the job done, you know? Can't guarantee they have the same stuff. Yeah, that's the other problem. So the 2 problems with Aldi is they have a very limited range. It's really cheap. And then either the quality is bang on or the box is ripped open. So you do need to keep your eyes open, at least here. So you go to a store and you'll find... So you go to the frozen section, you're looking for instant meals or a pizza or whatnot. and you look in the fridge, you'll see some of the boxes are literally torn open in the corner, and you can even see the plastic has been ripped, which is not ideal, so you definitely don't buy that one. But the other ones are usually fine, so the staff just don't care about boxes being torn or crunched or broken or what have you. At least down here. But for half price, as long as you don't accidentally pick one which is torn, you're laughing. Anyways, enough about this consumerist. I shouldn't say consumerist because we're literally talking about like food to keep you alive and whatnot. So, but yeah, that's my little rant on cost of living, which is what it is. Which you can adapt, yeah. I think ever since I started cooking more and making my own food, my own lunches and all that kind of stuff, I focus more on seasoning. So even if I get something frozen, I'll throw in a mix of my own spices and herbs just to make it taste a little bit different. So I notice the change is less unless I don't mess with the food. Perhaps you can tell the difference, but I also never drink energy drinks. I shouldn't drink energy drinks, and I go through phases where I stop entirely, and then I go through phases where I start again. It's very bad, but sometimes I need that extra kick just to keep me going. But yeah, is what it is. Good morning, Lana, or good evening, I think, where you are. Hope you're having a lovely evening. I've never dared get on the energy drink train yet. I highly don't recommend it. I think it's a bad idea. I think it's a very bad idea. I remember reading a study once which suggested that people who drink a lot of energy drinks, they can cause changes to, I don't know if it's damage or if it's a change to how the heart beats, and it just causes low blood pressure for the rest of your life. All the studies showing it's safe are funded by the mega corporations. So, yeah, I'm sure that the study that was funded by Coke, or whoever owns the Coke brand, I'm sure they wouldn't lie to us, right? Right? Oh dear, but I had a Coke last night, so, very much do as I say and not as I do. Do as plague says, not as plague does. Exactly. Exactly. I always found it interesting that the during the plagues, the bubonic plagues or the Black Death back in the Middle Ages, you had the very iconic looking plague doctors who would wear that mask. And I found it such a fascinating blend of sort of religion and pseudoscience and all of that sort of stuff. And I found it was really, really interesting. Like, they'd started to figure out that illnesses might spread based on bad airs. So they created this kind of mask, and they would put herbs and other things in the beak of the mask with the idea that maybe that'll purify the air. Which they're not right, but they're not necessarily wrong, because there is such a thing as airborne illnesses, and you can wear masks to filter the particles, which stops them getting in, and that's how you stop getting infected. So I just found it interesting that they were not right, but you could see the logic. You could see where they were starting to think about this sort of stuff. And then they had the big cloak and all of that, which is the same as modern PPE. So if you're going into a doctor's surgery, you have the plastic suit, you have the gloves, you've washed everything. I just found it really interesting. The same way as I look at old alchemy they were doing back in the day, or even old medicine, where it seems ridiculous at first. So they'd be like, mix this, this, and this. And it seems stupid at first, but then you realize, hang on, there's probably some ingredient in one of those materials which does have a benefit, the others just don't do anything, or they're just net negative. So you could see they were starting to figure out if you can mix things, you can make new chemicals and new compounds which could do certain things, and we have modern medicine thanks to that. We have modern chemistry thanks to that. But then the other thing I found really interesting about the plague doctors was most of them they couldn't afford to have their own doctor surgery back then. They weren't established, they didn't have money, they couldn't do anything. So what they would do is they would volunteer themselves to go into plague-ridden areas to help the sick and just diagnose plague, with the idea that they'd receive enough funds to be able to become proper doctors as a result of that. And they weren't really able to help people, they could just give them some water, poke them with a stick, and go, yeah, he's got plague. It's plague everywhere. So they're kind of useless, kind of not useless, and also the beginnings of certain sciences, but they were not quite there. And I found that really fascinating. In addition to just they look cool, they really do. I know I've had more Coke recently. The non-alcoholic beverage or the other kind? I won't judge. Oh dear. Never mind. Zero but still Coke, yeah. I don't think if I've tried a Coke Zero before, I haven't noticed the difference between normal Coke. Just don't care. Close but no cigar energy, yes. Very much so. It's been ages since I last had a stogie. I've got one. I bought 2 cigars a while ago to celebrate something. I've only smoked one, the other one's still waiting for me. Need to find a good celebratory event to break it out. Haven't tried the brand either, it's a macchiato. Anyways, little off topic. One true, good morning. It's Silent Hill 2 time. The remake. We got up to, I think we were just about to go into the apartment complex, and that's the next part of the game. There's also been an update just to Mr. Fields of Mystery, so I'm going to definitely be jumping into that and playing that as well. But yeah, I'm going to jump into some Silent Hill 2. We're going to see if the computer can handle it. Last time it did fine. I think I was tracking like 70 to 80% resource utilization across the whole machine. And that's doing everything. That's doing the model, that's doing the game, that's doing the streaming, the conversion. So if we hit 80% doing everything, we've still got headroom. Imagine going off topic. I know, right? Although, speaking of off topic, I woke up this morning at 6:30 in the morning. And then I had my first vitamin drink of the day. And then I'm sitting there in my chair just going, huh. And then like a bolt of lightning, I realized that I'd forgotten to do something important at work yesterday. I left work thinking I've done everything, I've ticked off my to-do list, everything's fine. And then Saturday morning I wake up at like 6 something, I just stand up, got my vitamin drink, and then I'm like, I forgot to do these 2 important things for next week. It's going to bother me all weekend. I think I can do them from my phone remotely with no dramas. But yeah, I just hate the fact that my brain chose that moment to remind me as opposed to when I left at like 6 o'clock last night. He couldn't have told me before I left. I wouldn't necessarily get into I wouldn't get into trouble. I would cause trouble, and I would require people to clean up after me, which I don't like doing. I like to be very self-sufficient and independent. Pretty much the mindset is, I'll do my shit, you do your shit. We don't get in the way of each other. Kind of a deal. Anyways, we've hit the 20-minute. Jesus Christ, I've been waffling for 15 minutes. Let's start the game. Let's just get into it. Let's just get the crap into it. Now, don't panic. You will see a black screen for a moment. It's okay. Don't panic. Why are you stop panicking. Don't panic. No panic. Panic is bad. Off. Oh my god, the game just goes, we're going to update. And I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious, game? Why right now? Oh my god. It gave me a heart attack for a second there. Why is everyone panicking? No panic. Ah! I'm panicking too now. I blame you all for this. Alright. Alright, there we go. I can see everything. Everything is good. Alright, we can relax now. Just in and out. In and out. Breathe and hope the internet doesn't die. Alright, mine is calm. I think we're doing good. Alright, let's do this. Remind me to talk about my audio setup before I finish stream, because I made some changes and I think it's really cool. I hear something squelchy outside. Anyways, So in game is we usually average 60 FPS. In the cutscenes it drops to 30, so anything that's not sort of in that range is bad. And you may notice this, but when I press a button on my controller, it resets the position of the model. So if I look kind of jerky, it's actually a weird quirk of whenever I plug in a PlayStation controller and press the X button, it just resets the model. Which I suppose is kind of helpful, because the tracking is kind of dodgy to begin with. So it's like a win-win. But yeah, I have no idea why it does it, and I can't be bothered looking into it. It gets the job done. I'm pretty certain we have gotten all the items and everything that we can from that area. There's a point of no return where we can go a little bit further, and then that's it. So if I have missed anything, it's gone for good. This is nice and clear. Oh, thank you. Thank you for confirming. Yeah, this is the point of no return. When I jump through this window, we can't go back. But I think we're good. I think we've got everything. So, YOLO. Is it weird that I kind of want to get one of those jackets now? It looks kind of cool. I'd wear that. I would legitimately wear that. I saw some research online which suggested that James, the original Sunderland, by the way, is wearing an old US Army jacket. I can't remember the exact one, but it's the same one from Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro, which I thought was cool. And then this is a different version of that. He came back after you left. It's fine, he didn't try anything, he just seemed sad. Mumbled something about getting out of town with someone. I wasn't going to let him drive in his condition, so I locked him out. His car should be out back. Maybe check if it's still there by morning. It's the greenish-blue one, plate number ending with 06, I think. I wonder if that's our car. I don't think there's anything there. Could be that the camera loses one of your eyes and they look uneven. I think it's a combination of that, and it's a combination of just scuff. Oh dear. I think I've told you guys before, but my audio setup is actually a USB-C, a Samsung USB-C dongle, 3.5mm, plugged into an adapter, plugged into the front port of the computer. And those front ports on my PC are already kind of dodgy. So it's like a daisy chain going into a dodgy connection. Ooh, item. Scuff is strong with this one. Now I've got to be kind of careful because I remember there's a certain point in this section where the wind starts up and I can't explore anymore after that happens. So I have to be careful not to trigger that. Until I'm ready. I think it should use all 8 eyes. I know, right? My eyes and then the eyes of the spider that's on my head. 2 of its eyes are hidden, of course. Because of course I'm just controlled by a spider. All Australians are. If you look at our hair, you'll find a tiny spider riding us like that rat in Ratatouille, just controlling our every action. That's why there's so many of them here. Law drop, by the way. Law drop for all of Australia. I think there was a Doctor Who episode like that, which was super intelligent psychic spiders. And and they would just attach to a person's back and cling to them. And I remember them saying, "All praise to the Great One." Bug. No more bug. No more bug. I love good lore drop. Oh, thank you. I don't know about yours, but obviously, but my front plug sounds so bad. I can't actually use the front plugs on my computer for some reason. You can use them for USB micro, so a USB cable to USB micro into something, but the moment I try USB-C, they constantly disconnect. I have no idea why, because they are plugged in properly. They do work. It's just they don't seem to support USB-C somehow. Why did it autosave? A lot of fog. So yeah, if I need to plug in like a phone or something to put movies onto it or music onto it or take stuff off of it, I have to use the back ports for some reason. Back ports on the motherboard, that is. It's not the end of the world, it's just kind of strange. What? You need practice, James. There's a reason I am doing that. You can find items inside cars, so I'm just trying to find stuff. Nope, no items, okay. This is the car. Gonzo Sushi. All right. I'm just doing it because it's fun. No. Well, I think moment of truth. What on earth is this? Ugh. He touches it with his bare hand as well. Oh, oh, I hear noise. Oh, hello. Nope. Well, that happened. Maybe I'll just wait in here for a bit. I don't think anything's going to change, though. Whoa. Is it just me, or are there a lot more of them now? Where are we going? I'm going the wrong way. I think I need to be going this way. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 14 of them. Oh. I think this is the right way. Ooh, whoa. Oh, it's dead. Oh, item. Well, that was intense. Gonna be lurking and get real tired. No worries, partner. Hope you grab a nice night's sleep. And thanks for popping in, by the way. Slightly spooked there, but there's an owl calling outside my window and I couldn't figure out if it was a stream or not. Oh man, that happened to me. I think I posted about it on Twitter or something as a photo of an owl just taking off from my balcony. So a couple of months ago, there was this owl that was living in my backyard. So I'm in an apartment. I won't say more than that. And it just seemed to be living in one of the trees around here. And then you'd be doing your thing and then suddenly you just hear, woo, woo, and it would scare the crap out of you. And then if you're playing a horror game, you'll be just doing your thing and you'll hear this weird distorted noise coming through the headphones. You're like, wait, is that the game? Is that outside? What's going on? Okay, we've officially made it to an apartment complex. Woodside Apartments. Doesn't look too bad. As long as the rent's cheap, you know what I'm saying? Okay, the leak in the middle of the thing might be a bad sign. Yeah, that's probably a bad sign. But it's fine. To hell. I wonder if that's a Easter egg because there was a. I think before Silent Hill Homecoming came out, there was a fan-made trailer, which someone dropped, which was supposed to be what the new game was about. And there's one particular scene where there's a door with some graffiti just saying "to hell" on it. I remember that specifically. I don't know if it's just a coincidence or if that was intentional. Dear Madam, in response to your complaint regarding the quote-unquote gunshots coming from apartment 217, we have paid a visit to the tenant and he assured us that he does not own any firearms. He was fully cooperative and granted us access to the apartment. True to his words, we did not find any weapons or traces of using one. Should the noises persist, please inform the janitor. America! Fuck yeah! Gonna save the motherfucking day, yo. Team America was crazy as a movie. But it had some funny bits. What was the other one? Freedom costs a $1.09. Oh dear. Right. I think this game is supposed to be set in like the 90s, maybe? Which means TVs used to be good. It feels like very late 80s, maybe. It could be, yeah. Because even in the 90s, people wouldn't upgrade straight away, so you'd still have the previous decade in houses and whatnot. Like I've said this before, but when I was growing up, I still used to use cassettes and Walkmans, but CDs were the thing. Just because we were poor, we couldn't get the newest things, so we were a generation behind. So we had the generation behind of like all consoles. I only had one console growing up. We had the older TVs, we had the older cassettes and Walkmans. And then when everyone got into streaming, I got into CDs and CD players and whatnot. And when everyone else was getting into PlayStation 3, I was getting into PlayStation 2. So yeah, I think it's common to be like a generation behind. You could record on tapes too, which was endlessly fascinating to me. The thing that I find really interesting is how cassettes work. And fun fact, for big data storage where you don't need to retrieve it and read write often, they still use magnetic tape. It can store more for cheaper and it lasts longer without corruption. It still decays. So if you look at, say, so for the technically minded, you've got Amazon S3 and you've got Amazon, I think it's called Glacier, or AWS, I should say. Same company. So if you have a lot of data that you need to store, you can store it in an S3 bucket, which, great, you pay for it, and you pay to take it in and out. But then if you need to back up data and you don't care about retrieving it often, you can actually store it in, I think it's called AWS Glacier or something, which is where they take the data, store it on tapes in their vaults, and then you have to wait a couple of days to get them to retrieve it if you need the data back. So even mega corporations will still use tape storage sometimes. And I am actually very interested in looking into getting tape storage myself. Because I want to keep building out my music library and my TV shows, and because I've got heaps of DVDs. And they're all still fine, but eventually they're going to start having problems where the discs will rot and decay over time. Because they were just printed poorly and cheaply. If I can digitize my collection, which will be huge, as long as I have backups of it, I can constantly access my own movies that I've bought and paid for in the past. When I was super young, vinyls were just becoming obsolete. Sometimes you still get those silly flexible plastic records with books or cereal packets. Wow. That is OG. It still sounds kind of cool to me because I got into vinyl later. Like, I only bought my first vinyl records, like, I think end of last year. And I really enjoy them. Just the idea that, because I have a chair, I'll post a photo of it later, I think I already have. But I've got a stack of like an old Japanese CD player, an old Japanese receiver, and a record player on top of them. And you can get these things on eBay for like $100 with taxes and shipping included. And those things would have cost thousands of dollars back when they were new in like the 90s or the early 2000s. So there's a lot of really good audio gear you can get off eBay for dirt cheap, and then you can build your own little mini hi-fi system. And that's what I've done, is I've got the record player going into the receiver, and then I just listen from the receiver with headphones. And it's just so cool. I didn't know this, but when you're sitting next to a record player in a quiet room, as long as the case is open, you can actually hear, with just your ear, without any equipment, you can hear the needle tracing the music. It's very, very quiet. It's really whiny, but without headphones, without any speakers, you can hear the record playing the music as it physically traverses through the groove, and I thought that was so freaking cool. Obviously, to get the best listening experience, plug into a headphone and listen through headphones or speakers, but I did not realize you can actually hear the record of the needle scratching. I think it's the same principle as how a saxophone or a trumpet works. Or not a trumpet, sorry, a saxophone or a clarinet, where you have a wooden reed which you press against your mouth and then you blow air over it, and then you use the instrument to change the pitch of the sound, but it's still a wooden reed vibrating, making a noise. Come on, game, why are we at 30 FPS? I want 60. Make me restart you. I will do it. I may have to drop the quality. Graphics display. Frame rate. No. Let's try that. Oh, that made it worse. Oh god, that made it worse. Go back. Oh no. We're already at low quality. Oy. Oh, that made it worse. You gonna recover or do I have to restart the game to get back to 60? Yeah, we'll restart. Settings. Set that to unlimited, which is what it was. In other words, reset to default. And then we'll save, and then we'll restart the game, and that'll get us back to 60. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the early gramophones weren't even electric, just acoustically amplified. You'd wind them up by hand. Each record was like 2 to 3 minutes and made of something called shellac, which is an insect byproduct. Yeah, we used to use shellac in woodworking from time to time. Wait, even my models. That's kind of weird. Why is that doing that? Let's go activity. How's my system doing? Alright, and then what we'll do is check resource utilization. Network, CPU's only 60% utilization. Huh, interesting. Oh crap, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for the raid. The floofers are dropping in. I will have to open my umbrella so that I am not drenched in floofers, but thank you. Historic floofer dropped. It's a tactical floofer bombardment, and I love it. Can you imagine that? I just imagine this service of floofs, and then what you have is someone is just having a bad day, or they're kind of not feeling it, and then just a tactical bombardment of floofs just collides with them, and they're very happy, covered in floof. I could really see that happening. That'd be kind of fun. Alright, I could finally raid you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, Floof. How are you going? How was your stream? What did you get up to? What did you do? I'm just going to restart the game really quickly because we've dropped to 20 FPS when we're usually at 60, and I don't like that. And restarting the game seems to fix it. So, we've just saved, we'll exit, and then we'll restart, and then that'll fix everything. At least it should. You hear the ground shaking and look through the window and notice the flood of floofs. I can just imagine you doing a 3D of just like a wave of floofs just charging down the street, and then there's some poor depressed guy just looks around and goes, oh my god, and then just boom. The floofening. Oh, why is my game updating now? That's so shit. Oh, let it finish. It's only 20%. Alright, so let me go ahead and just be very witty and intelligent and whatnot and distract you while the game does its update in the background. Or it's actually just validating data files for some reason. But anyways, how's everyone doing? I hope you had a lovely, lovely day. Yeah, I'll turn it off and on again. I know, right? And the funny thing is, I didn't realize that Windows has services the same as Linux has processors. It's pretty rudimentary. I should have realized that the whole time. But it's so hidden in the operating system that I didn't realize you can actually go into a particular setting in Windows and you can stop, start, and restart services one by one, the same as I can. Oh my god. Ah, that hurt my soul. Mariah, why do you do this to me? I'm gonna need to take a drink. I'm gonna need to take a swig. All right, thank you for that. I can't say I appreciate it. I could just say that, oh my god, my soul hurts. But it's my fault for not removing Ramaya. Ramaya, Mariah. All right. Anyways, 6% to go. That redeem will never not be funny. That redeem hurts my soul. Why did I do this to myself? I don't know. All right, but I see some. I see some requests. Telephony. Okay, I can do this easily. Why do socialists write everything in uppercase? Because they reject capitalism. Pickup line. Um, I'm not checking any files, by the way. This is straight off the cuff. Roses are red, violets are blue. You know what I see in 20 minutes? Me in you. Oh, God, I feel bad just saying that. I cringe saying that. That actually hurts me to say. But it's not good pickup lines, it's a bad pickup line. So, it technically fulfills the criteria by being bad. Not in front of the tiny floofs. Oh god. That was a deep one, eh? I love that. Oh my goodness. But anyways, yes, thank you for the redeems. So there you go. There's bad pickup lines, and then there is that. I will have you know that that is a Plague original. I didn't look that up. I didn't interpret that. I made that up myself on the fly one day. I added it to the text file, and then I just remember it because it's mine. So that is an original bad pickup line. That's as bad as my lines get when I'm intentionally trying to be bad. That was a critical hit. Oh dear. Anyways, we're just waiting for the game to finish updating. It's currently at 65%, nearly finished, and then we'll restart, and then yes, hopefully back to 60 FPS. But anyways, yeah, I didn't know that Windows had services the same way that you can stop and start services in Linux. I use systemd on this machine, so you can actually just stop, start, restart services. And I was like, oh, that's so useful. It means I don't have to restart the whole machine. If something's going wrong or I make a change, I can just start the service that's affected by it. And then I was doing a project to upgrade an old iPod. So there's a modding community which takes old Apple iPods and they'll open them up and replace parts. So you can replace the storage, you can replace the battery, obviously, you can replace the shell, and then that basically allows you to have a modded iPod with better storage. You can add Bluetooth support, you can change the adapter from the 30 pin to USB-C even. You can add Bluetooth to these things. And I did that kind of mod project, but one of the things I had to do was I had to use iTunes, which doesn't work on Linux. So I had to use Windows. And I was having trouble getting the iTunes and the computer to recognize that I'd plugged in the iPod. And that's when I realized, when I did some research, that there's actually individual services, and there was an iTunes, it was called something else, but there was a service which allowed iTunes to detect stuff. So I had to go into Windows and actually stop, and restart that service to get it to realize there's an iPod connected. And that was the first time that I've ever realized that you could do that on a service level for Windows, which means it's a little bit less crap. It's still crap, and I don't use Windows except at work, and I don't like it, but it's a little bit less that you have that ability. Thank you for laughing, Vay, at that lovely pickup line, or the joke, or both. But yeah, Apple and Windows can be such a pain. Just Windows and Apple are both pains in the butt. I don't like either of them. I'm forced to use Windows at work, and it's don't get me started on that. Windows 11, I have a dual monitor setup at work, right? Like every 60 or 70 minutes, it just black screens. The laptop, all screens turn off on the laptop and the dual screens. It randomly restarts to do updates, even though I've specifically set the active hours, and it does this during the active hours. And I'm just like, what the hell is this piece of junk even doing? They've put Copilot in all kinds of places. the responses that it provides are just dog shit. It's like it's just a buggy mess that's getting worse and worse. And I'm just like, I'm so glad I jumped ship on that operating system years ago. I don't want to go back. As janky as Linux can be sometimes, or even BSD, I have tried both, or even Temple OS. I've tried Temple OS. That is an experience. Let me tell you that. As janky as those are, it's like you've built your own. It's like DIY. You've built your own car or your own bike, and you're doing your thing. Sometimes the wheel comes off and you fall and you face plant, but it's your bike. It's your wheel. You did it yourself. You know, it's all good. Whereas with Windows, you bought this polished Tesla Cybertruck, you're expecting a lot, and then you just find no, it barely works. It can't run in the cold. Sometimes the door will lock, and if there's a fire, you're trapped in there to die because you can't unlock the doors from the inside. When it's powered down, you need the app. It just gets worse and worse, man. Anyways, my game is finished updating in the background. I'm going to try and run it again. Down the Rabbit Hole. Yes, I have seen Down the Rabbit Hole on YouTube. I haven't watched his content recently, and why is my model looking over there? That's kind of strange. I can fix that. There we go. I have watched Down the Rabbit Hole before. I can't say his name. It's Knudsen or Knutson or something like that. I can't remember. I do know who he is, but I haven't watched anyone's recently. Possibly lucky now. Good luck on Sound Hill too. Thank you so much for the raid, Floof, and thank you for the lurk. I remember trying Linux in 98, 99. It was a real jank then. Oh, I can imagine. That's some greybeard stuff then, when you would have had to do all kinds of shenanigans to get it to run. That's floppy disk time. In fact, it was so janky you could actually destroy your monitor if you configured it wrong. Holy shit, that sounds awesome. But terrifying, because that would have been expensive as hell back then. Imagine screwing up the family TV when you tried to plug in. Oh dear. I think it's where I heard of Temple OS before. Knudsen, yeah. So, Terry, I think his name was Terry Davis. So, I'll go on a bit of a tangent, then we'll fire up the game. We'll get back into it. But and the game's not running now. I know you can see the save screen on OBS. That's just the last captured window. I'll run the game again in a second. But I think Terry Davis was his name. He was an American programmer who suffered from schizophrenia, and basically he went off his meds and he began to feel that he was chosen by God to be a programmer to create an operating system which was going to be the new temple from Christian mythology. So he went down a bit of a spiral where he took the Commodore 64 operating system as a base. He didn't use it as a base, sorry. He took it as an inspiration, and he created his own operating system full of games and colors and a terminal and all this kind of stuff, with the belief that he was chosen by God to write this operating system to be the new temple. And this operating system is really good for one man just doing it himself, even though I acknowledge that he was schizophrenic and suffering from the effects of that and being off his meds. And he created this thing and he released it fully open source and freely to everyone. It's public domain, anyone can use it. I think there's a couple of groups that support a fork of it, which I haven't tried. I've just tried the OG. It's not necessarily usable for modern computing, but I just find it fascinating that someone has done all that effort and work and produced such an amazing thing. Unfortunately, Terry, I think that's his name, Terry Davis. I don't know why I've forgotten it, but apologies if I've gotten the wrong name. He eventually, his mental condition worsened. He was off his meds. He was eventually kicked out of home by his parents. He was an old man. He was like 40s or something like that, but he was being looked after by his parents. Eventually, he was homeless. He was uploading in libraries and whatnot. He had a bit of a social media presence on YouTube. He eventually was walking in front of. He was walking in train tracks at some point, and then he's potentially just not heard or not noticed or not thought the train was real, and it's actually struck him. So he did die several years ago. But his legacy lives on. There's clips of him on YouTube. His mindset, his operating system still lives on. And that's sort of where Temple OS came from. Yeah, I guess mental illness is no joke, and if you're on medication, I do recommend continue that and just follow the advice of your doctor. Yeah, bit of a tangent over. The game is finished updating. That's our lesson on Temple OS. You can run it in an emulator, by the way, so if you're at all curious, go to a website called Temple OS to download the image. Go to another website called VirtualBox by Oracle. Download VirtualBox on your machine. That allows you to run virtual machines. You can then run the actual Temple OS image in the emulator and just experiment with it through the emulator. I think it only works on older ThinkPads that use the PS2 inputs for keyboard and mouse, so you probably want to emulate versus use actual hardware. I'll be asleep, I'm afraid. It's super late. Good night. Good night, Ashrafel. Thank you again for the resub, and sleep well. Alright, let's see if this game now runs after it's updated, because it wouldn't surprise me if it just broke. Oh dear, imagine it did break. We would probably have to switch to Fields of Mystery instead. Although, that also got an update, so imagine if that also needed to update and then that also broke. Oh no. Why is the game frozen? Oh no, it's doing this again. Oh god. Oh dear, dear, dear. Why do you do this to me, game? Why do you do this? Well, we're about to find out live if it runs or not. We're just waiting for it to finish loading. 10%. I don't know why it does this. We've gone through game died, restart game, download updates, and then process the shaders. Come on, game. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want to. I'm just here watching a progress bar, by the way. Oh dear. Alright, I'm going to hide my screen for a second because there's literally nothing to show. I'm still here. Whoa, 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 wait a second. Mana, what did you say? Mana? What? I don't know if you know, but I finally met a hidden romanceable NPC in Mystria, and now I'm going to be in real trouble. It's not the dragon guy, is it? Because if it's the dragon guy, spoiler warning, if it's a dragon guy, I knew about him, and I knew that you would go for him. If it's someone else, then I'm actually surprised. I knew it. I knew about this. I knew the moment that the humanoid version of that dragon god character exists, I'm like, Marla's going to go for him. Marla's just, yep, 100%. So I knew. I knew. Predictable. And I mean, look, it is what it is. Everyone likes what they like. But, yeah, I knew. I knew. I wasn't sure, but he's just so good. I'll bet he is. Mm-hmm. You can remove that allegedly tag from your stream now. Mm-hmm. Oh dear. Obvious choice for Sui, right? I know, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Alright, there we go. Now the game's come back. So, window capture. 2, bang. There we go. There we go. Alright, now we're back in business. Sorry for the delay, everyone. Hopefully we can get back to it. Then worst case scenario, we just have to update Fields of Mystery and then play that. But let's see how the game that's on my to-do list. It was not too bad though. I was working with him. Baylor's the merchant, right? Ah, okay, okay, okay. I mean, I really shouldn't judge people's choices because then, I mean, my choices are very easy to judge. In that game, I like Reyna, I like Celine, and I like Juniper. So that tells you a lot about my interests. Alright, we've explored that, we saved the game, we're back to... We're not at 60 FPS, but we're closer. I think it's as good as it's gonna get. And in case you're wondering, this is max brightness. A punk of culture, I see. Yeah. I'm doing the wink and the elbow nudge, just going, yeah, if you know, you know, you know. Item. Communal bathroom. I do not like this at all. Out of curiosity, can I go back outside or am I stuck in here? I'm stuck. Okay. I'm not surprised by that. I would say those three are kind of diverse. I mean, two of them are, if you think about it. So, Reyna is the daughter of an innkeeper, very nice, excellent cook. Just seems really nice as a character. Celine loves plants and flora. Just a really nice character. Juniper, evil witch alchemist. Joe Summer vibes. Juniper is obvious, yes. Am I that obvious? I think I am. Yeah. I think I'm leaning more towards Reyna because her character just seems a little bit more fun than Celine's. But they're all nice. You've seen Juniper in a winter outfit? I don't know if I've seen the winter one. I've definitely seen the summer one. And, and the bikini.
Hello? Is anyone there?
James, my boy, you have no survival instincts. When you hear that noise, you don't just scream hello. You go quiet and you wait to see what happens. And you do not go towards the source of the noise. You can level into one. Ah, I am looking forward to it. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. Didn't hear a thing. Oh dear. You're yelling out to others. No, yelling out to others is absolutely what you do. Hey, Doobie. I think that's some dubious advice. Just saying. Hey. No, but thank you for popping in. How was your day? What are you up to? I don't know about you guys, but I would live here. I think this is fine. I would live here. As long as the rent was cheap. Are you still trying to wake up? Yeah. I actually woke up feeling pretty well rested today for some strange reason. I don't know why. I got less sleep than normal as well, but... Rent is 5 billion actually. Oh god, that better be 5 billion Zimbabwe dollars or something. Do they still have inflation issues? I think they do. I know it was Argentina and Zimbabwe, you had to have massive wheelbarrows of cash to buy bread because of inflation problems. Yeah, I would live here if the rent was cheap enough. They have to pay me to live there. I wish someone would pay me to live somewhere. was having this chat with Elva the other day, just on stream, very briefly, where I was like, "Can I just get abducted by aliens so I don't have to adult anymore? Can I just be like an alien house cat for them, where they just take care of everything and I just lounge around all day?" I'd be okay with that at this point. Every day's been fine. Yeah, it's been good. I only woke up a couple of hours ago, so this is early morning for me. The only thing that would make this place a no-go here is probably too much mold from the water. That would be a problem. As long as you kept your apartment dry and well ventilated, I think you'd be okay. Oh, and pro tip, don't use bleach on mold. That just bleaches it so it loses its color. Use white vinegar. That kills the mold. So white vinegar, a little bit of citric acid, maybe some baking soda if you've got stubborn grime. That will clean stuff up much better than bleach. And because it's all natural, it'll just smell kind of funny, but it won't make you sick. Bleach makes me sick when I use it to clean stuff, so I just use that mixture. Being a house cat is great. Aw, I'm glad to hear that. I hope you enjoy house cat. I wish I could be house cat as well sometimes. Doesn't mean I have to put on the cat ears though, which I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it just depends on the situation. If the house is nice enough, if the food is nice enough, then yeah, I'd put on the cat ears. I would. I'll join the alien abduction. We can be fellow abductees together. Alright, let's keep going. Thankfully, I've never lived in a place which is as bad as this one. Like, I tend to go for cheaper places, older places and stuff. But, yeah, every place that I've been in is relatively decent. Never one as bad as this apartment, but that's probably the point. It's just exaggerated to prove a point or create a vibe in the game. I'm just doing that for fun at this point. Uh-oh. I remember this scene. I remember this scene well. They do this in the original game as well. Oh! Well, that happened. Oh dear, I knew it was going to happen. Absolutely knew it, but... Oh, that's right. Get a tab? Where's my... That's what it is. There we go.
These clothes.
Do we actually have it? Oh. Those clothes look kind of familiar. Oh, interesting. My restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you. Oh man, such a good opening. I really love this game. Got a key for the chute. Now that the game's shown us those double-legged, or the mannequins, they're going to start popping up everywhere. That's where this game basically becomes Australia Simulator with spiders instead of mannequins. You know, relatable, people just blasting light at you sucks. I know, right? Especially when you're walking home, it's nighttime, and then everyone's got their high beams on. It's like, guys, come on. Road rules just say have some light on. I think there's even rules about how many meters away from other cars you have to be before you put your highs on. But nope, high beams. And those mannequins are a pain in the butt to fight. Okay. Down we go. Why am I FPS dying again? Why you do this to me, game? Okay. Was it down there? Or was it down... I think it was down there. No, that's a dead end. We heard a noise down somewhere. Maybe this way? Probably this way. Yeah, that's... Something opened up. There we go. Okay, now... That's still locked. Oh, it does open it. I sworn something opened up, but okay. Alright. Can we now... Nope. Okay, not the end of the world. Garbage chute is out of order. Please do not use until problem is resolved. Okay. And it's already jammed up. Typical. The Last of Us taught me well. That's where I remember that mechanic from. I know it's been done to death in other games, but The Last of Us is the first time that I saw it so consistently that I remembered. And I associate every game that does it with that. Okay, that doesn't open. That's bricked up. Oi, oi, oi. What did you do wrong to get bricked into your own apartment, you know what I'm saying? Did you guys know that used to be a punishment? In the old medieval era, and even before, if you were in a monastery as a nun or a priest or a monk, and you committed certain crimes, your punishment was to be walled up inside the walls of the monastery alive. I can't even imagine that. And then, of course, there's the classic Brendan Fraser, The Mummy movie, where Imhotep's punishment was to be mummified alive. Man, I want to see that movie again. It's been so long since I last saw it. We're not alone in here. Lucane siblings murder. Perpetrator commits suicide in custody. Ah, I wonder who this could be. Lucane siblings murder. Perpetrator commits suicide in custody. Walter Sullivan, the culprit in a recent homicide case, was found dead, having taken his own life on the morning of the 22nd in his jail cell. According to the police statement, Sullivan's death was caused by blood loss resulting from severing his carotid artery with a soup spoon buried 2 inches in his neck. Sullivan was apprehended on the 18th of this month on account of brutally murdering Billy and Miriam Locane. Even though Walter Sullivan did not strike a former schoolmate from his hometown of Pleasant River as someone capable of murdering children, the schoolmate admits to having witnessed Sullivan in a state of severe paranoia shortly before his arrest. He was blurting out all sorts of strange stuff like, "He's trying to kill me, he's going to punish me, the monster, the Red Devil. Forgive me, I did it, but it wasn't me," he recounts. I guess now I think of it, he was kind of crazy, the schoolmate concludes. Alright. What's waiting for us in here? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? No, it's in here somewhere. Oh, it's not. Okay. Cheeky. Cheeky, cheeky. Where is this little blighter? I know you're here somewhere. Must be out in the hallway. Oh, that's what it was. One of the bugs. No items. Outrageous. Whoa! God damn. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. I knew one of those little buggers was creeping around. Ay, ay, ay. I need to get the rhythm of fighting them. Been a while since I've last played this. Because I played this before. I didn't finish it. But I did get up to the part where those creatures, the mannequins started appearing. I just need to remember the best way to duck and dodge to fight them without taking damage. And then we'll be Gucci. Can't really go now, my second wind is over. No worries, Mana. Sleep tight. Have a lovely night's rest. This looks familiar.
Hey! Wait! Damn it.
I guess, as good as the remake is,
What's the kid doing here?
my one complaint is that they don't take their time. In the original scene where this happens, it's a little bit slower paced. And then the same is true of the very beginning of the game where you're walking down in the forest. The first game really takes its time and builds tension. Whereas this game, it does the same, but just faster. It's like they cut it in half. And then we're going to completely ignore the fact he could have just stretched his wooden bat through the bars with the nails and just pulled it towards him. Like, that was totally an option, James. It's not now, but yeah. He could have done that. Just saying. Just saying, James. I missed a door. There is no door. Concrete, okay. Alright, where are we going now? We will go back up in the other. Wait, we can go through that door? I've just not checked out 105 for some reason? That's weird. Wonder how that happened, okay. Let's not worry about that strange noise. Is that always open? I don't think that was always open. No items, okay. Huh. You dropped your bowl. The golden apple, okay. In someone's wedding dress for some reason. Okay. Okay. Second floor hallway, gotcha. I can hear something. I don't think we're alone in here. Nice little guitar, piano. Einsame Blumen? Don't think I've heard it. Robert Schumann. Well, you know it's good then if it's Schumann. When the light goes out. Oh, what happens if I turn the light out? Does anything happen in the dark? No, nothing. Okay. See, this is the kind of setup that I want to have. I've got the record player and I've got the headphones, but I don't have the speakers. Because I have this thing where I don't want to disturb the neighbors with noise, so I generally prefer headphones over speakers, but speakers would sound better when it comes to things like soundstage and whatnot. Two little bookshelf speakers like that would do much better than a headphone at 3 times the price. But apartment living, you kind of need to be aware of the noise you're making.
Huh. Quite the artist.
James, she's like 10 or something. Just disable blast music. I mean, that's true. It's just my own personal mindset is when I'm living in an apartment, I generally try and keep the noise down. I do make noise, like I play the guitar from time to time, but I have certain times of day that I'm allowed to do it. I don't allow myself to do it after that point. And it's usually in a room as far away from everyone else as I can get. Because obviously no one wants to hear me playing. Although all of you have to, because that guitar music at the beginning of my stream, that's me. Yeah, I'm not a fan of people that just blast music at all hours. It's kind of just obnoxious. We already have to live with each other. Why make it worse, you know? Bunny on the wall. Yes, there is Bunny. There's 2 bunnies. Although one has a black eye for some reason. And has a cloud over them. Bunnies. And I think there's bunnies in here too. See? More bunnies. But they're happy. Happy smiling bunnies. And then, so hang on, happy smiling bunnies over there, but then there's one with a black eye. That's kind of concerning. It just clicked. And we didn't get ambushed, okay. Like something's gonna ambush us. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Oh, no, 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 no. Someone had some bad burritos. There we go. Now we'll cook them with gas. You've kind of got to stomp them a bit because they'll just get back up if you don't. So it looks a bit gratuitous, but there is a reason behind it. Alright, we've been in there, we've checked those out. We can now go to the 2nd floor. There is also a reason they spit acid as well, but I won't talk about that for anyone who hasn't seen or knows the ending to this game. Keep that. was a good idea to have multiple saves in a horror game like this, but only where it makes sense. We're at a good position now in terms of items, health, progress, but if we start to go down a poor direction and start losing consumables, then yeah, separate save. That way I can start the area again. That wasn't open last time. Come here, you. Come on. Come on. Just one of you. Why are you running away? Oh, now that one's coming. One at a time. Just need to get one of them to come down here so we can take them out one at a time. Come on. I'm right here. Come on. Oh, he still got me. Wrong one, James. Wrong one. Wrong one. Oh. Where's this one? There we go. There we go. Oh, okay. That did not go as planned. Okay, that did not go as planned, but we got him. Okay, dokies. Yeah, where are we? Oh, there's only one apartment down here. Valentine's Day, okay. Now, I did not know this the first time I played it, but apparently... Oh, nothing there. Some of the TVs, you can break them and there's an item inside. But PSA, if you have an old CRT TV, never break the glass. There's a vacuum tube in there. So my understanding is if you smash it, there's a possibility that the vacuum causes the glass inside to push outwards in a kind of spray. I don't know how powerful it is, but having glass flying at your face is probably a very bad idea. So if you are going to break a CRT TV, stand well away from it and throw rocks at it. Don't walk right up to it and just smash it. Safety first if you're going to do vandalism, you know what I'm saying? And only do it to stuff that you own. Don't go breaking other people's stuff. That's just a dick move. I don't know, I thought it was an item for a second there, but no. Oh, I was expecting more items, okay. Right, what's this? What? Nope, can't go that way. Okay. So we have goneth that weigheth. That's all done. Level 2 it is. Level 2th. Hang on. Was it level 2? Hallway on the second floor, yeah. I have an apple and a key. Jackpot. Oh, that's not sus at all. Wait, what? I can't target it? There we go. Just to make sure it stays dead. It doesn't surprise us later. Uh-oh. Something in here trying to do its laundry? I think it is. Imagine throwing out a gold coin in this economy. Outrageous. Ooh, who's that? Well, 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 who do we have here? We're not going to comment on that, James, are we? We're just gonna ignore that. Nah, but that's the same as the original game. If you walk close to that section, the OG game, you can see Pyramid Head just in the behind the bars, just out of sight. So that's the same as the OG. And I kind of like how they did that. No context, you can't interact with it, you just see it and it's like, what the hell is that? Why do I get the feeling we're not alone in here? No item. Badge. So in the original game, there's a puzzle involving a clock in a room just like this. And what the remake does is they change the puzzles and they remove some, but then they have these kind of deja vu moments where you can just walk up to it and press a button and it just shows you. It's like a little nod to the player saying, yeah, I know you remembered that this was a thing. Which I thought was really good. Like they've made their own little changes, some of which I don't like, some of which I do, but they still nod to the original, which I thought was really really nice of them. It's just like, they get it. I've played it. Due to the ongoing renovation works, tenants are asked to keep out of the third floor of the building. Okay. We don't have a key. We'll ignore that for now. That doesn't open. Indeed, James. Indeed. $217, huh? The room where there's no gunshots, there's no noise, right? That's what we saw in the letter. That's what we saw in the letter, huh? Oi, oi, oi. It's a nice looking toaster, though, I'll say that. Well, boy, howdy. Look at all them bullet holes. L2 to aim, R2 to shoot. Expecting the video game to just throw an enemy at us so we can test it right away, but apparently not. We now have melee weapon and ranged weapon. But bullets are incredibly scarce, so we don't want to use the gun. Unless we absolutely have to. What's that? A noise north of here. Wait a second, we smashed that TV. How's it working again? Impossible. I remember smashing that. No, my immersion is broken. $212. Those jeans and those boots look very familiar, don't they, James? Oh, this doesn't open, does it? No. Okay, let's get on out of here. Alright, what's next? We have the key to 212, which is back the way we came. What's he oh, he's looking at that. Wait, did I get the key to... Yeah, 212. 217. Hang on, have I gone the wrong way? No, 212 is down there. I got the wrong way. Oops. Whoops. Huh. Oh well. Is what it is. Let's ride across the hallway. Uh. No, my FPS. Is there someone down there? Oh, they must be over there. Oh. Oh, we have company. Cheeky little bugger. Oh, there it is. Whoa! I screwed that up. Whoa, whoa, no, 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 no. Oh, hello. Hate those things. Absolutely hate those things. No items? What? Outrageous. Career's humble beginnings. That's like wadded up tissues? I don't know. It is what it is. That does look like a bit of a fire hazard, having like frickin' bars in the middle of the thing. And brick walling someone inside their apartment is not good, you know? Saying. Call me crazy, but people should be able to leave, you know? Oh, hello. And one more. There we go. Okay. Oops, I did not mean to press... Ah, I was afraid I was going to do that. The button to look at the map is triangle in the old game, and it's now up on the D-pad on the new one. And heal is a triangle, and I keep pressing the triangle to look at the map, accidentally healing. And I know I can remap it, but I've just never been too... I've been too lazy to do it. Which means I occasionally completely waste my health. God damn it. There's nothing here. I'm not real. Okay, yeah, it spotted us. We're gonna have to kill it. Unless it's just gonna loop. Oh, it's just gonna go back and forth, is it? If I get nice and close and whack. Sneak attack. I do like they added that kind of feature. So you can sneak up on them, just do way less hits to take them out. I don't know if the original had that as well. I was used to just charge in with my trusty wooden bat and go for it. Welcome home. What's that thing gonna do? Just need you to turn around, buddy. You know you want to. Do it. Turn around. Go on. Thank you. Done. Welcome home. And then there's a mouldy cake. What's that say? Celebrations. Whoa! Whoa, hello, hello. How you doing? Whoa! Hey, we came through that pretty unscathed. Good. Good, good, good. That's the kind of encounter we like. Anything? No. We can't break the mirror. There's no items there. So sad. Where's this go? Okay, that actually goes somewhere. Let's go back this way. No, my FPS. Yeah. Round the corner. I don't know what's going to be in there waiting for us, I wonder. Yes, please. I will have some of those. This is the other thing that annoys me about this game, is you have to be bang on for the collection of items sometimes. A little circle to trigger. You must think I'm cruel, but this prison is of your own making. The choice was yours. I watched you make it over and over and over again. This time is not going to be any different. And I'll be here, watching. That's not creepy at all. There's like a freaking food hatch over here. God damn. Okay. That's not creepy at all. You've literally walled someone up inside an apartment? God damn. That's actually terrifying. I could not imagine being walled up inside like that. Wait, back. What time is it? Well, it's not that late. We'll keep going for a bit more and find a good stopping point. Because I am keen to get out and grab some groceries. I pretty much got everything I need. There's just one or two items that I don't have. So I will head off, grab what I need, and then spend the day indoors. Because today it is cold, it is wet, it is gloomy outside. Perfect, perfect weather to be indoors with my record player and a good book. Perfect day for that. Just hoodie on, hood up, headphones on, listen to some music, get through the book. I think I'm at like the last quarter of William Gibson's Count Zero. Because I read Neuromancer ages ago. I liked that. Count Zero is not as good. It's just not. For the time, I'm sure it was revolutionary. I find it interesting, but yeah, the original was Neuromancer was just much better, in my opinion. Alright, let's do this. Dun dun dun. We are trapped. Couldn't be surprised. You can see the meals. Ugh. Ugh. Whoever was in here went nuts. I really don't blame them. And there's a safe. Okay. I see numbers. Yeah, the torch eliminates just that. So, what's it say? Right where the rooftops pierce through the night, left are homebound footprints with no owner in sight. But he has found home, oh please pray tell, on a river of memories leading right to his hell. So it's got to be a combination plus numbers. So what I'm going to do, because I am a nerd, is I'm going to get a notepad, I'm going to get a pen, and I'm going to write down the clues so I don't have to keep checking this thing again and again. Pen, again. So, rooftops, pierce, night, first, left. So, turn right, because it's a safe with a combination, you have to spin the dial. So right, rooftop to the night, whatever number that is. Then you go left, footprints with no owner. But he has found a home, oh please pray tell. On a river of memories, leading right. River, right, L. Okay, let us hope I can properly decipher this, and I'll write the numbers down as I go. Okay, so numbers. The first number, rooftops pierce night, rooftops and night. That's the house. Footprints with no owner. That's the second number. So I think the second number is 7. Okay. What else we got? What other numbers do we have? What other numbers do we see? We see any numbers on the roof? Oh, 11. So the river is 11. The river is 11. Ugh. Oh. 13. So the houses. 13. Is it just 3 numbers? 13, 7, and 11? Or another one somewhere? I recognize that shape though. Right, I'm going to assume it's just 3 numbers. If it's not, we'll find more. Okay, so what's the puzzle? So right to 13, left to 7, right 11. So right, left, right. See if this works. So right 13. Right 13. Left to 7. Went too far. This is not going to work. Nope. Okay, do it again. Right 13. Left is 7. Right is 11. Jackpot. Hell yes. We have the grumpy old man coin. Key. Nice. We're not alone. And here that we have company. Where are we? There's only 2 apartments there. Oh, I hear another one. There it is. James, my boy. There you go. Alright. Why do I feel like we're gonna get ambushed? Staircase, nice. Oh. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Any goodies? What? Yes, goodies. I like goodies. Who doesn't like goodies? Nice. And that leads us to 201, which we don't have a key for. Yeah, I've checked out everything there. We haven't gone into the balcony though. Need to go on the balcony. See what's out here, if anything. Oh, this was just this place. Okay. And we have Staircase key. We go up and around, and I think that's it. Yes. Nope. Yeah, that would work. Oh man, my FPS. I don't know why it keeps doing this. It was the same with Dying Light 2, where it would be fine and then it would just drop down to like 20 and have to restart the game. We're sort of reaching the end of stream anyway, so I'm not going to restart it now. Just because we're about done. Wait, there's nothing here. Damn it. As annoying as it is. Jackpot. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect timing. Create a second save. And we are done. Alrighty then. So. I'm still a bit of a stretch. Alright. I think I am going to call it there. Because I want to duck out and do some grocery shopping and then relax at home for the rest of the day. Because it's been a long week. And I can. That's literally all it is. Cool. So. Let me take a quick look to see who is streaming, if anyone, so we can raid out to people. If not, we may just wrap it up. But we'll see what's going down. I see Putty. He's playing what looks like a horror game. I mean, Fallout is technically a horror game. It has horror elements. Is he about to finish, or is he still going strong? I think he's still going strong. When did he start? Oh no, he's just finishing up, actually. Okay, I need to quickly raid out to someone else. Alright. So. No worries, Faye. Thank you for popping in. I really appreciate it. So, we'll raid out to Aurora. Actually, is anyone playing Silent Hill 2 right now? I'll check that first, and then if not, we'll raid out to Aurora. And no Twitch, don't autoplay. Stop. Bad Twitch. Anyone playing this game right now? There is, but he's finished. What about... Is there a remake? Plan that. Well, there's a few. But is anyone a cool VTuber? No, 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 no. Oh, there's a few. See a few people playing it. A few VTubers. Okay. We'll rate it to someone new then. Alright. Who's got the small viewers? I see two potential targets. Let's have a look. Oh wow, they're huge. No. They're just flying stream. Well, that's why there's so small number of viewers. What about this one? What about this one? Oh, they're actually pretty big. All right. Looking for small creators we can raid into. Putty, thank you so much for the raid. I am actually about to raid out myself. Let me give it a shout out. Alright, Putty, thank you so much for the raid. I hope your stream went well. I was actually just looking to find someone to raid out to myself. But yeah, thank you so much for thinking of me, and I hope you had a fantastic stream. How did your journey in the wasteland go? Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let's just see what we've got going on. I'm just trying to find someone to raid out to. If you have any recommendations, let me know. If I can't find someone new, a VTuber, then I'll just raid out to Aurora probably. Because she's doing a thing. But all these VTubers, I don't know them or they're a bit too big. What's this person? 2 times raid. Uh, uh. What's their about me section say? Um, Float went well, do the DLC. Oh, that's I know the DLC you're talking about. I played that before. I never finished it though. Um, nah, right out to Nowara. Alright, so we are going to raid out to a horror stream in Aurora, currently doing Power Wash Simulator. She's a strong Chucky fan. Play some horror games, does get scared easily though, so we're gonna surprise her. Silent Hill 2 is fantastic. I really enjoy this game. I do have some minor complaints about it in that the speed of it and the pacings are not quite right, but it's still a fantastic game and I love it. But we are going to raid out to Aurora. We're going to cause some mischief over there. But first and foremost, welcome to the void. Wahahaha. Yeah, but once again, thank you so much for the raid, Putty. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Floof, for the raid earlier, and thanks for the sub, Ashrafel. I really appreciate it. First and foremost, thanking you all for popping in and giving me some of your time and wishing you a good and happy Friday or weekend, depending on time zones and where you all up to. I am going to stream again tomorrow and probably again... Wait, I'm streaming again tonight. I'm going to stream again tomorrow if I can, probably in the morning. So, yeah, there'll be some extra streams and it'll be Dying Light 2 and Fields of Mystria because there's been an update to Fields of Mystria and I want to, and Dying Light 2 because it's zombies and parkour and I want to get through the game. It's kind of fun. Ray Kelly? Yeah, I can Ray Kelly. Wait, hang on, who's got... Yeah, okay, we'll go Ray Kelly then, because we've got one less viewer. Warframe's a little bit closer to horror, just a little bit, as opposed to Power Simulator, but it's all good. So, once again, thank you all for popping in, wishing you all a good day, afternoon, evening, wishing a good weekend. Hopefully you don't run into Frozen Mariah Carey, because that would be bad, but otherwise, thank you, and yeah, have a lovely, lovely time, and I'll catch you the next one. But until then, bye-bye.
Vegeta. Vegeta. What? I'm haunting you.
Vegeta. Haunting you.